throw your arms across your eyes and scream, man. Scream for your life.
Hello, kids. We're back again. The Week of Kong continues. It's day 4, or maybe this is the same day as day 3, because we're doing another Toho King Kong movie. Joining me, of course, again, Dylan McCandless, Super DM64. D, what King Kong movie are we commentating on today?
Well, we're not through with Japan yet, because today we're talking about King Kong Escapes. It's the Doctor Who one.
Yes, it is. It is. So, a little backstory, I suppose, before we get into this. So, this is the second Toho King Kong movie. This one, however, is more of a direct adaptation of the King Kong cartoon show, which was produced by Rankin Bass in the early 60s, which was aired first in Japan and was very popular in Japan, and was only aired in America in the late 60s and early 70s. And was not as popular, although people do remember it. I saw it as a kid on DVD because it fascinated me to find out it existed. And it's not as it's weird that the animation isn't the worst thing about it. It's actually kind of cool. It's kind of interestingly animated, but it's not amazing. Some of it looks great. A lot of it looks like shit. The story, on the other hand, is the thing that kills a lot of that cartoon. Doctor Who is a villain in a lot of it, so this movie actually gets that right. He looks completely different from the actor they cast in the film, though, and I like him a lot better in the movie than I do in the cartoon, because he's just kind of a dumb, big-headed scientist. He's almost like, what's the villain in Underdog? What's his name?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
Simon Bar Sinister. He looks like Simon Bar Sinister, and that doesn't really fly with King Kong. But it's a very different, or not different, it's just a mellow version of King Kong. Like, that version of Kong is much more in line with your Kong King of the Apes cartoon that, you and I did a review of with Ian all those months ago. So,
That thing. Oh.
You've never seen it, have you?
We will not be covering that again on the Week of Kong, by the way.
No. We will be doing the other Kong animated series, though, the 90s one. We'll be covering 2 of the movies from that. Which, have you seen that?
I've seen some of that. I haven't seen the Rankin Bass show.
Okay. I've talked about it with you in the past, but again, it's the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla of King Kong, even more so than the fucking 90s one, which was closer to the 98 Godzilla cartoon anyway. But it's pretty much a bunch of it's a scientist with his kids traveling on a boat with Kong, fighting evil monsters. That is the premise. It's not always monsters. Sometimes it's a natural disaster, or a bunch of dickhead people, or like there's a fucking golden temple in the way and Kong has to lift it, and that's literally the entire episode. There's aliens at one point, I think. You know what? We will do it at some point. We're gonna do like a bunch of like addendums to this. We're gonna do some other stuff. We should definitely cover this cartoon, do some commentaries on some of the episodes. There's one with Mechani-Kong in it. I want to do that. So that's a direct transition that leads into King Kong Escapes. I haven't seen that episode, actually. It wasn't on the DVD that I had when I was a kid, and I've never seen it. So I want to track it down, though, because I wonder how close they adapted it into the film, because that's one of the more popular elements from this movie, and something that Toho did and then borrowed from later in their Godzilla series. But anyway, so that's pretty much the backstory in terms of the cartoon. Toho did try to... did we mention the Godzilla versus the Sea Monster thing already?
No, not... We were talking about it before we started recording, but we haven't talked about it to the people.
I know, okay. So, sorry. We've already said a lot of things. So, the Godzilla versus this... I guess we can get into this with the movie. Yeah, we can talk about that during the credits. So, why don't we... I hope you got your DVD out during all that preamble. So, while you're getting that all set up, though, and we prepare to count down, before we do that, though, D, what's your kind of opinion on this film going into it?
It's weird as shit. Sometimes I watch it and I hate it. Sometimes I watch it and I love it. It's interesting that we're doing this Week of Kong thing now, because just last year when we were at G-Fest, of course, it was the 50th anniversary of every kaiju movie that came out in 1966, one of which being King Kong Escapes, and we, of course, got to see Akira Takarada and Linda Miller And here's some stories about that. That was the last time I actually watched this movie, as we watched it in the hotel room at G-Fest.
On my laptop with shit audio.
I remember liking it that time, but I don't know if that had more to do with the fact that I was at G-Fest than the actual movie. So it's a hard one to pin down, I think I would say.
You don't have a lot of nostalgia for it, though.
No, it's one I saw way later in the game.
Not with me. This was a special one for me, D. When I found out this existed when I was a pre-adolescent, blew my mind. A Japanese solo King Kong movie with a robot King Kong made by Toho in the style of a Godzilla movie? What the fuck? That's awesome!
I'm not surprised. It seems like all the movies that were special to your childhood are the ones that I didn't see until later, and vice versa.
Yeah. Well, because all the ones that were weird and obscure and had interesting histories were the ones that I wanted to find, and those are the ones that I seeked out. And King Kong Escapes was one of them, to the point where I bought a bootleg of it. My original copy of King Kong Escapes, which I still have, I found it before we recorded this, when I was looking for my proper DVD, my factory copy. It's the American version, but it's in a Japanese bootleg like DVD case. It's got the Japanese and English posters on both sides of the case, and it's not in great quality. And it opens with a trailer for the movie. But it was again, it blew my mind as a kid. It was amazing to me. I loved it, and I watched it a lot, and it fascinated me. And I loved it when I was a kid. It blew my mind because it almost felt like a sequel to King Kong versus Godzilla, but with a more traditional Kong, and I always enjoyed that, but with a more science fiction bent, and I always loved Mechani-Kong. But in recent years, it's kind of long and boring.
The astounding thing that came for me when I learned about this movie's existence, and I knew it was a thing long before I actually saw it, but the astounding thing to me was the existence of Mechani-Kong and the fact that this was a thing. Because I never realized that King Kong had done that before Godzilla did.
Well, we'll talk about it. So,
8 years before, and then to find out that actually Rankin Bass, had that in their cartoon before it was in the movie. So Rankin Bass came up with the concept that eventually worked its way into Godzilla. It's so bizarre.
Right? Yeah, man, this is why this history is so fascinating to me and why I wanted to do this. So let's get going with it then. So I hope you have your DVDs queued up and ready to go. Again, we're watching the American version of this. As far as I've been led to believe, there is no real distinction between the Japanese and American versions of King Kong Escapes. They were made. It's a co-production like King Kong vs. Godzilla was. Although, unlike that film, this was later in the game. Toho knew how to play with America and play the right ball game, and they made basically a movie that was palatable to both audiences. So, and there's American stars in this. It's a lot like Invasion of Astro Monster, where it was such a close co-production, and that was the year before this, and that was also Ishiro Honda. It's crazy that this is an Ishiro Honda movie, because this is it is not his style, man. We'll talk about it.
Well, when you read the credits on the back of the DVD case, it doesn't mention Toho until the last line. The first line is a Universal release. Ernest L. Scanlon presents a Rankin Bass production. It's like we totally swear it's not Japanese. By the way, it's Japanese.
All right, so hope you have your DVDs queued up, because we're gonna press play for King Kong Escapes, the American version, in 3, 2, 1, play.
Now, if you're using VLC like me and Bill, you should have something of a delay. And now I'm looking at stars.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Universal logo. It's fading in. So this is in Universal International. Had they gotten rid of that in 1966 or 1967, whenever this came out?
I'm not sure. I love the old school Universal logos, though.
Yeah. This is an awesome opening.
I used to see the old school Universal logo as a kid whenever I would watch Jurassic Park on VHS. And then years later, when I got the DVD, I found that it had been replaced with the newer logo. And I was like, no!
Yeah, I love all the old Universal logos. The one in front of Jurassic Park was always my favorite. But I like this opening, don't you?
Yeah. The submarine, it's pretty good.
But all right, let's talk about Operation Robinson Crusoe, a.k.a. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, but with King Kong in it. So, that was basically it. Toho wrote a script for a King Kong film that was based on the cartoon, a solo King Kong adventure, where he would basically be on an island with a bunch of mercenaries and criminals and also people who crash-landed there, and they would have to survive and fight their way against the terrorist organization and try to get out alive.
That would have been more of a sequel to KKVG, because Godzilla, King Kong would have still had his electrical powers, which wound up being transferred to Godzilla in that movie, which is why they wake him up with lightning and whatnot.
And also, this would have been directly more tied into the Godzilla universe because Mothra is in the original script for Operation Robinson Crusoe, as well as Godzilla versus the Sea Monster as it was played straight. And that is apparently why Godzilla and Mothra have a brief scuffle in the film. Because Godzilla and Mothra were allies prior to Godzilla versus the Sea Monster in Ghidorah. So you'd think that they wouldn't fight each other. But it always made perfect sense to me. Godzilla doesn't like anybody, regardless of if they help him. So I never questioned that, but I guess that makes sense. So because King Kong had never met Mothra in the canon, they would have fought in their first meeting naturally. So I thought that was interesting. So ultimately, Rankin Bass didn't like it. They thought it was a very weird adaptation of their cartoon and had nothing to do with it, so they scrapped that, and then they wrote this script instead, which is a lot. It has quite a few. I guess it has quite a few similarities to the cartoon. Susan, the girl here, we should start talking about what we're actually looking at. The girl in the cartoon is named Susan as well. There's a lot of other kind of names and aesthetic things carried over. Doctor Who, again, is from the cartoon. But again, that's mostly name and kind of basic aesthetic. Everything else is kind of made for the movie.
This white guy bears like a passing resemblance to Sean Connery, just a little bit.
Yeah. In the cartoon, the main scientist guy's name, his name is Bond, actually. Professor Bond.
Oh. Nice.
I don't know. I think it's Carl Nelson, I think, is the guy in this. I believe that this actor right here was Cal in This Island Earth. So I like this, D. I like that we're just kind of thrust right into the midst of Kong's mythos. We got Akira Takarada here as well.
Yeah, I like that they're not, discovering Kong, well, they are discovering Kong, but they're already aware of the fact that there's a legend of a thing called Kong. They just don't believe in it, as opposed to in all the American versions of the story where it's like, oh, there's a big fucking monkey. We never knew about that.
Well, it seems to me to be the same thing, where there's a bunch of legends, and and this guy, like Carl Denham, thinks that there's some legitimacy to it. He seems to think that it's legit, and so does Akira Takarada. Here's the thing. This movie, production-wise, is made really well. That's because this is Ishiro Honda. And I think that's the frustrating thing about it, because it's a weird, bizarre movie, but it's really well made. So it's not like a bad, kind of so bad it's good, campy movie. It's a well-made 60s monster movie, but it's got some bizarre 60s camp elements that don't necessarily work. Look at Doctor Who's outfit. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like a fucking vampire.
He looks a lot like the way the first Doctor dressed as well.
Sort of, yeah.
There's Mechanicong. One thing that I think is bizarre is that apparently he built the robot based on Carl Nelson's approximations of what Kong's strength and size and dimensions would be. That's a little bizarre, because apparently nobody has ever seen Kong prior to this film. Like, this is Kong's introduction into the modern world. So how does he build this perfect approximation of him based on this guy who's never seen him research? Like, that strikes me as a bit of a risk. This girl, I believe, was in You Only Live Twice.
Also, they're building a Kong to mine for something, right? That was the idea. Why didn't they just build...
D.
Why can't they just build sophisticated mining equipment?
I don't know. There seems to be this thought process later that Kong will be able to like withstand the radiation, which I don't think is true, as it turns out. Because he's a mammal or something? I don't know. It's weird. So maybe they think that building a robot based on him will help. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's completely unnecessary. It's a little weird. This guy is clearly crazy. Now, what country? What country is this girl working for? I can't tell. I always thought when I was a kid she was working for Japan, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
I don't think it's ever really stated. I think it's supposed to be sort of mysterious. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she does say at one point. I've got the subtitles just turned on. So.
But when they start taking Mechani-Kong and Kong to Japan, I think she says like my country suffered enough, and I'm like, oh, you're Japanese. So maybe she works for like a radical Japanese subsection.
Maybe she works for the Red Bamboo.
Maybe. So speaking of that, this is not set in the Godzilla universe. This is a reboot again. Yay, another King Kong reboot.
Yeah, technically we have 4, don't we?
Whole bunch. Yeah, no, this is not a sequel to King Kong vs. Godzilla. I kind of wish it was. It'd probably be a little more interesting. But
you can kind of play that way if you don't think about it too hard, but it's not.
I mean, no, because this whole thing is predicated on Kong, this being his introduction into the modern world.
I said if you didn't think about it too hard. I mean, if you just watch the pretty pictures, then...
Okay, one criticism I'm going to immediately lob at this, and this is something I didn't think about when we were praising, oh, we're just jumping right into the Kong stuff. There's no mystique or wonder to this. It's so fucking clinical. I don't think Ishiro Honda is the right guy for a King Kong movie. Because King Kong is supposed to have this romantic, adventurous quality. And if it doesn't have that quality, you should do it for a reason. And this just feels like Ishiro Honda was assigned to direct this King Kong movie, so he's just making it as well as he can. And his style isn't commenting on the material in any way. He's just doing it because that's the way he makes movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this works. Like, I feel like we're just kind of like, okay, this is a big robot digging out this radioactive element. Ain't this interesting? If anything, it makes it more compelling as a science fiction film because it plays it completely straight without any question. It's just like, here it is, deal with it. The science fiction, like, high technology is definitely very in line with the cartoon. The cartoon is definitely, like, higher technology.
Do we really need a shot of them exiting that craft so that then we could get a shot of them coming back into that craft?
There's a lot of padding in this, isn't there? There's a lot of people walking around. I mean, fuck, Mechani-Kong hasn't even gone inside the mine yet.
Like, couldn't we have just opened on them, like, standing on the glacier and then have them walk back into the helicopter? Like,
Mechani-Kong's suit looks great, though.
Yeah, I don't quite like the way it holds its arms. It's a little awkward, but...
I mean, again, they're trying to make it look like a gorilla, but, you know, it kind of works or it doesn't work, depending on the shot.
Kind of looks like a child doing a Frankenstein impression.
Yeah, but like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman Frankenstein, where he was blind. This all looks awesome. See, again, this movie looks really good for the time, and for Toho stock. This is higher end stuff. This definitely looks better than Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. But it just doesn't have that proper quality, that proper wondrous, magical quality that a King Kong movie should have. I always liked the grenades. I thought that was cool. Oh, you could see the...
I wish he had more weaponry, though. He has grenades and he has a flashlight on his head.
Well, he's not built to be a weapon at first. He's built to be a fucking digger. See, I don't know why Doctor Who doesn't just give the girl Mechani-Kong and just be like, use this as a weapon, and then build him with more efficient weaponry than just grenades he has to toss and a big flashlight. Because later on, that's all he has to offer against Kong, and I don't even think he uses the grenades against Kong, does he?
I don't remember him doing so, but he might. I don't know.
We'll find out.
What would have been cool is if he had climbed up Tokyo Tower first, and then as Kong was coming up after him, he like drops grenades down at him.
Yeah, see, I think I remember that maybe happening. We'll see, but I don't know.
Do like a Donkey Kong situation. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe it does happen. This is not one that I rewatch often, so I'm kind of fuzzy on all the details.
Yeah, I haven't watched this since we watched it at G-Fest. So far, my impression is not very positive. This movie is very boring.
You know, and it comes on the heels of us watching, some better Kong movies recently.
King Kong vs. Godzilla is a Honda movie as well. It is a bit slow at points, but it's also really fucking interesting.
33 obviously is a much better movie than this. It's
Oh God, yes, and also a better movie than King Kong versus Godzilla. And then Son of
perfect,
Kong is not a good movie.
perfect pacing in that movie.
Is this better
Yeah,
than Son of Kong?
I would say so, merely because the thing about Son of Kong that frustrates me is that the titular Son of Kong is only in the movie for about 20 minutes, and at very least you can say that there is plenty of King Kong in this movie, and also Mechanic Kong, and
There's plenty of monster action in this, certainly.
King Kong does in fact escape, so the title is true.
This is also I think it's an overall better story. Son of Kong has better ideas in it, but this is just an overall more well-told story.
Yeah. I mean, Son of Kong could have been told better. We threw around some ideas when we were watching that.
If they would have told that story better, it would probably be it would definitely be a better movie. But because this is just Honda doing his thing, telling a story, it's just inherently better.
If they had done it properly, taken a year or two to develop a sequel, and put some money into it so that you can actually spend more time on the island and have more in it than just a big bear and a chasmosaur that was supposed to be in the last movie, or Styracosaurus.
Just 20 minutes of fight stock footage that we're going to throw in another movie.
Exactly. If they'd actually taken the time and the money to do it properly, Son of Kong could have been fucking great.
Mm-hmm. See, these two's dynamic is really good.
I kind of wish that somebody had come along and made a good Son of Kong remake after Peter Jackson did his version of '05, or his King Kong movie. Not necessarily him, because I think he would have made it overly long, but somebody come along and do a good Son of Kong remake and do what the 33 version should have done. You think Del Toro could do a King Kong movie?
Ooh, yeah, sure. But I mean, don't you feel like it would be too close to what we had with Jackson? Like a really exaggerated Skull Island. I don't think we need that with what we're getting with Skull Island. Give him something else. Give him another kaiju. Give him War of the Gargantuas. Wouldn't that be great?
It would be pretty cool. With the script by me.
Yeah, put your audition in now. It's really fucking convenient that they stumble across Kong at the same time that Mechanic Kong is being used to mine Element X and is also not doing well.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Again, Honda's telling a story well. It's not necessarily a great story, though.
It's also really convenient that at the time Doctor Who's Mechanic Kong fails to acquire the Element X, that, oh, look, somebody found the real Kong, we can just use him now.
And they also just fucking break down right next to Mondo Island. How fucking convenient and lazy is that? See, this movie is lazy, and I don't like that. Again, it's like, oh, I had to make a King Kong movie because Toho contracted me. Come on, Honda, you like monster movies? Fucking, you're making a King Kong movie, dude. Have some passion. And I don't get enough of that.
You think maybe this is 66? You think maybe he was already having some monster movie fatigue?
I know for a fact he was, especially at this point. He did not want to do this. He made War of the Gargantuas this year too, which is a much, 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 much better movie than this is.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe he put all his heart and soul into that movie and just didn't have enough left over to really make King Kong Escapes as good as it could have been.
Or at least just make it passionate and fun, because this is just so clinical. And War of the Gargantuas is clinical in an interesting way, and there's definitely more passion in that movie than there is here. But again, right now we're just
it was a pretty great year for kaiju movies. I mean, you had War of the Gargantuas, you had
Gamera versus Barragan.
Gamera versus Barragan over on the Daiei side. Also from Daiei, you had the Daimajin trilogy, which is one of the best things ever. And even Toho, did Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, which some people love that film, some people hate it. I think
that doesn't look great. Look at the little puppets in there.
Yeah, but regardless of what you think of Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, I think we can all agree that it's a little better than this movie.
Sea Monster?
Yeah,
they're neck and neck. Yeah, but Sea Monster's probably a little better. It's better paced.
It's definitely better paced. That's my biggest issue.
That's weird too, because Sea Monster is not a well-paced movie either.
You notice how all the lesser Kong movies all suffer from pacing issues? Son of Kong kind of drags a little bit.
Every movie I don't like inevitably comes down to pacing. Because I
Son
just
of Kong
get bored.
This has pacing issues. I think one of the reasons that a lot of people don't like King Kong Lives is that it drags. I mean, I really like a lot of the ideas posed in that movie, but it does drag.
They're all in the first 20 fucking minutes.
And then
man's shouting in Javanese. Is that supposed to be the fucking mystical fucking language of this island? Javanese? It's a little on the nose, ain't it?
Potentially controversial, depending on your opinion on 05. Also, pacing issues. So,
I would have to agree.
That's a trend. Hopefully King Kong, Kong Skull Island doesn't have any weird pacing problems.
We'll see.
I'm a little worried.
Its predecessor certainly did.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm a little worried that it will, just because 2014 has some pacing issues. But again, different writer, different director.
Not different writer, same writer.
Yeah, I meant to say director the first time and I fucked up.
Wong Kong. Kong's Wong. That means king. Ooh.
But also a studio that saw what it did wrong the first time around, hopefully, and made the correct adjustment.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like they've not course corrected, but they've adjusted to kind of make something more in line with what people want.
Yeah. We can only hope. That's what we wanted DC to do, and that hasn't turned out so well so far.
We'll see how it goes. Why is there only one Islander on the island? Have the rest of them been have been murdered? Did Donald Trump deport the rest of them? I mean, what happened?
Is he the only one we ever see in this movie?
Yeah, definitely.
Huh, that is weird.
You don't say.
Oh shit, it's Gorosaurus, folks. The introduction of Gorosaurus. Now, that is a good thing about this movie, isn't it? It's the introduction of Gorosaurus. It's Gorosaurus' entry into the Toho universe. Now he gets to be around for Destroy All Monsters and then never be spoken of again.
Do you think Gorosaurus is based on the three-fingered T-Rex from the 33? Because he's got 3 fingers. And he looks a little bit like that. Bigger head.
That's possible. Maybe.
I like Gorosaurus a lot, though.
Is there a Gorosaurus or anything similar to it in the cartoon?
No. I think... No, there are normal dinosaurs on the island. There's T-Rexes and stuff. Kong isn't as big in the cartoon. This Kong is about 60, 70 feet.
First thing I left it.
So that's why you have to have this sci-fi dinosaur as opposed to a traditional dinosaur. Gorosaurus looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, and a much better Kong suit in this movie than we had previously.
By and large, there are some rocky moments. I still don't love the face. It's still not great.
It's still, but it looks more like a real gorilla.
Yeah, the scaling and the dimensions are better. It moves better, and the face is more consistent.
Say what you will about the face. Say what you will about the face. Though he's a handsome devil compared to KKVG Kong.
I would have to agree. But I think that KKVG Kong is more intimidating, not just because of the size. I think overall.
I mean, this is the Kong face that I used as a reference when I created our mascot, Bill. So you show some respect.
I fucking will. I'll be sure to. So one other interest. Oh wow, we're just right into this. He just grabs the nearest blonde woman he can find.
Yeah, there's the thing about Kong that'll never die.
Yep.
There's one poster that suggests they might be doing that in the new movie, and it kind of has me worried because I was kind of hoping we would get away from that for once.
I don't think it's going to be a big deal in the new one, though. Oh my god, this is fucking weird. Did you see that? That did not look good. The compositing in this is better than some of the stuff we've been seeing in the past, but we're still not there yet, folks.
It's definitely better than A*P*E.
That shot of Gorosaurus the folds on the rubber didn't look great there. This looks okay.
That tree that she was in was very clearly being composited into that background, and it didn't look very good. Oh, see again. Oh,
this is very clearly a reference to the original T-Rex fight because this is exactly what happened. Kong put Ann in a tree and he fought the T-Rex.
Yeah, but that Linda Miller doll in that tree is awful.
Yeah, no, that's no good. At least it's moving. So this is not set in the Godzilla universe, but Gorosaurus is incorporated into the Godzilla universes later and made bigger.
The interesting story behind all this is that back when the original King Kong movie came out, I found this out by watching the...
that exact move is in 33.
I discovered this by watching
Jesus Christ, did you see that shot? Fuck me.
Yeah. Anyway, when 33 first came out, they didn't want people to know how they did the effects because they wanted people to be, mystified or whatever. So they put out a bunch of like false information. And one of the things that they sort of told people was that there was a dude in a monkey suit and like miniatures and stuff. So in a weird way, this is like the fight from 33 done the way that they lied to the public and said that they had done it.
How does it stack up compared to that fight?
I think that fight's better.
Yeah, I would have to agree. This one's pretty good, though.
I think because Willis O'Brien had some really creative fight choreography in there, and it's really impressive considering that it was done with puppets that are painstakingly animated frame by frame.
Again, I think that this is supposed to be a direct reference to that fight. There's some recreated moves from it. But
he kills
Gorosaurus. It's just not as impressive.
He kills Gorosaurus in the exact same way that he killed that T-Rex, so...
Yeah, it's not as bloody, though. You see foam instead of blood, which was always weird in Toho movies. The Godzilla movies picked up on that later. Like that scene in King Ghidorah where Godzilla gets choked out by Ghidorah.
Yeah, it seems like Japan at the time was kind of maybe a little sensory when it came to the blood. Then they came to a point later on where they weren't that way. You watch like Dragon Ball Z and there's tons of blood in it, but now they're sort of back to that. There's way less blood in Super because they're more sensory now. So they kind of go back and forth.
Kong looks more like a baboon in this than he does a gorilla. His ears are pointy. He's got a super long snout. I don't like that.
I guess, but the overall body shape is gorilla. He's missing the most important part of being a baboon, though, Bill.
Oh, he's got a big butt. Oh, God! What is that? Why does he look like that? Just the big puffy lips. Like, why would they fucking... Why is he rubbing his nose? Stop this. Why?
One of the puppets from one of their Christmas movies.
Kong nodded. He understands English now. Oh, man. That wasn't bad. Ooh, look at her legs. Ooh, I'm into that. Oh, you saw her garter belt. Ooh, my. Ooh, I like this. He wasn't done, and he grabbed him by the leg. They just totally ditch him too. They're dickheads.
I do love Gorosaurus' kangaroo kick, though. That was always a favorite move of mine.
Yeah, and he does that in Destroy All Monsters too.
You don't see a lot of like signature attacks like that all the time. That's something kind of cool about Gorosaurus.
No. Yeah, see, that's
I guess
that's a reference. It's a classic Kong move.
I guess King Kong has his signature jaw-breaking move, which was always the most satisfying thing to do on Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie.
I always ended up breaking the back more. Kong's mouth and its movements are better in this movie than King Kong vs. Godzilla. Oh, he's actually walking on all fours, kind of. And there's also a mix of, like, King Kong vs. Godzilla roars and Sanda roars from War of the Gargantuas in this.
Oh, good. Sea Serpent from Son of Kong.
Oh, God, great. Look, now we've got the King Kong vs. Godzilla suit. Who jammed the controls? Kong did? I fucking sabotaged him. That snake does not look great. See, look, there's the King Kong vs. Godzilla suit. Because they had to get it wet, so it was going to get ruined, so they didn't want to use the one they were using on land. They did that a lot with Godzilla movies, too. They used the 62 Godzilla suit in Mothra vs. Godzilla for all the water shots.
So they just put the 66 head on the 62 body?
That is not the 66 head. That is a 62 head from one of the puppets put onto the suit from 62.
Oh, it looks kind of like the 66 head.
It's not, though. It's from 62.
That's so weird.
But it's not for that suit. That's why it's bigger.
Never noticed that before.
Look at them firing as if it's going to do anything. Oh, that's also a reference to the Serpent from 33. Dude, it doesn't just get down, you fucking idiot, as if it's going to make a difference. That dude's beard is spectacular. This
whole sequence has been the most rushed, half-hearted version of the plot of 33 I've ever seen. Like,
right?
They just basically did like a condensed 10-minute version of the entire Skull Island debacle.
How far are we into this thing? We're 27 minutes in, and we're pretty much done with Skull Island. Well, we're done with, like, the initial Skull Island adventure, or Mondo Island, as it's called in this. As bad as that suit looks, that was kind of a cool shot, where he looked over, and then he was like, fuck this, I'm still going for it. Yeah, so far I'm not enjoying this as much as I did last time, D. But I'm digging into it a lot more. And for Ishiro Honda just kind of half-heartedly making a King Kong movie, it's not standing up well to scrutiny.
That's why you're not enjoying it. The best way to watch this movie is to have it in the background while you're like doing other shit, just to enjoy the goofy shit that happens in it. Not to sit and scrutinize it, because once you do that, it all falls apart.
I'm starting to see that. What even happened? How did they damage their submarine? A rock fell on them, right?
I'm not even sure. Would have been a better idea. What is he doing to that submarine?
He's fucking speaking. He's whispering into its ear about what he's going to do to it tonight.
Oh my.
I'm gonna lick my lips. That's how Kong talks when he looks like that. We've seen like at least 3 or 4 different looks for Kong's face so far in this movie, and we're only a half hour in. We've still got another... Oh, we've only got like another half hour and 7 minutes to go. This movie is a lot shorter than I remembered.
Kong, get your hands off my submarine. It's long and hard and full.
Did you remember this movie being this short?
An hour and a half?
It's not an hour and a half. It's an hour and 7 minutes.
No, it's an hour and 36 minutes. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. I thought I forgot that VLC counts down the remaining runtime as well. So I thought that was fixed. It's not. It changes. So my bad. Oh my God! Look at that. Look at the lips. It's horrible. So we've still got like another hour and change to go.
Yeah. Only about very little change though. It's mostly an hour. I don't know how much of that 36 minutes is taken up by credits, you know.
God, he's fucking jerking off. He can't even keep eye contact with her. He's like, oh God, oh I can't, oh God.
I'm telling you, man, he loves that submarine. It's
really
long and hard and full of semen.
I'm gonna let my lips off. Yeah, why would he let her go out alone? He should have figured that was going to happen, right? Again, why is Kong like just not even making eye contact with her? He's always just like grabbing her and then like waving his head around in all the different directions. Oh, how could I have prevented this?
5 years since Gorgo and still blue screen looks this bad. Ugh.
No, Kong.
God, I'd rather have Dwan.
Oh, don't say that about Linda Miller. No. I mean, Jessica Lange. Sure, Jessica Lange is a better actress, but even still.
Linda Miller is a lovely woman. I don't think she had much to work with here, though.
No, that's fair. Oh, Jesus. That was a little more aggressive than our previous encounters.
Yeah, I do like that scene. That's a little different.
See, I don't think this movie should have been a reboot to the King Kong mythos. It's kind of like Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, where it should just drop us into the middle of a very typical Kong status quo. And he should be a known thing already, and his island should be a known thing, and what the deal is there should be known and all that, just so we can get to the Mechanic Kong and the international terrorist plot, because that's all new, and that's a lot more interesting than this half-hearted romp through the big moments from 33.
And I know before they didn't want to get the 66 suit wet and ruin it or whatever, but thank God they realized that this scene was important enough that they needed to have the good-looking suit interacting with Linda Miller, because that would have looked awful.
Right. See, this Kong is a lot more reasonable. He lets her go because he can tell that she doesn't want to be with him. So, see, this is a consent-savvy Kong. And look, they're all fucking making fun of her. They're like, oh, you got a cat kidnapped by a big gorilla.
Tried to rape you. It's not true. He tried to rape you, honey.
They have literally zero evidence of what they're reporting. Look at this. This is a horrible shot.
Getting a,
When are you guys?
getting a,
Why'd you guys leave me? Oh.
I'm getting a little bit of an echo, Bill.
Oh, it might be. My bad. There's no way you should be now.
Okay. Well, I'm not hearing it now, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. Damn it.
Dylan, you know what building that is? Guess.
No. What is it?
It's the UN building. I was kidding. I figured that would have been obvious. You fucking idiot. Oh, look, he's got his fancy naval suit on.
You think I know what the UN building looks like? You think I spend time
Yeah,
looking at
every
the UN
fucking
building?
human being on the planet who's ever seen a fucking movie knows what the UN building looks like. Have you seen the American version of King Kong vs. Godzilla?
Yeah.
Fucking
Does anybody
good.
in that movie? Does anybody in that movie point to the UN building and say, "Hey, look, it's the UN building"?
We get several establishing shots of it. Isn't that enough?
Is there a big neon sign flashing outside saying, "Hey, look, it's the UN building"?
No, but there's a bunch of flags in front of it, so I would assume that would make it obvious.
You know what movie I know it's the UN building in?
What?
Fucking North by Northwest, because it's a plot point that he goes to the UN. Other than that, no fuck should I know. It's a big square building. Make your building more aesthetically pleasing if you want me to recognize it right away.
You're so fucking demanding. They are very well known to Kong. Wow, I love how she jumps to that.
No, Kong. God, that was terrible. I can't
Yeah,
get
that was
over that.
awful. There was some really bad dubbing in this.
Why did they gotta dub her? I guess she was speaking phonetic Japanese when she was doing the lines in the Japanese version, wasn't she?
No, she was speaking in the English. That way they could use that performance in the American version. That's what we're hearing right now. Everybody spoke their native language, and then everybody was dubbed in accordingly later.
Oh, I see.
Just like Astro Monster.
That must have been
Astro
confusing
Monster
on
is
set.
definitely a better movie than this, too.
That must have been confusing on set. You say a line to Akira Takarada, and then he responds in Japanese, and you got to try and remember what to respond to that with.
It works better, though. Like, this is definitely a lot better than, like, I don't know.
It comes out better. I'm just saying it's got to be more difficult for the actor in the moment.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's probably why it's better. This is very Bondian. Or very Mission Impossible.
Yeah, you know, I wish
Your
that,
lipstick will explode after this message is completed.
I wish that Madam X here was a Bond villain instead of a weird Kong villain.
Well, again, as I said, in the original cartoon, the main scientist's name was Bond.
So I guess in a way she was a Bond villain.
Now we can use his Kong for digging. The real Kong's a mammal. As if that was ever a question. He's a fucking big ape. Like, would you like? Oh, is this a reptilian ape? We don't know. We've never seen it. Like, you know what kind of fucking animal a fucking ape is? Oh,
What did you want her to say? The real King Kong's an animal? Like, an animal, a mammal? Who fucking cares?
I don't know. It seems like it's like no shit.
That's just the setup to the question, though. That's the first half of the sentence.
I don't
Second-
understand why they think that this mining job is just a job for King Kong. Why not just get a big fucking shovel?
Yeah, that's what I was asking earlier. It seems like they could have spent all that money they spent building a Mechanic Kong to, I don't know, build
Just build a big fucking shovel.
some sophisticated mining equipment, you know. Mining equipment, as I understand it, not affected by radiation, as far as I know. So,
Well, it is, but it doesn't fucking die. I mean,
well, yeah,
Mechanic Kong
gonna-
is essentially mining equipment, and I mean, he was affected by the radiation.
you're not going to give your steam shovel cancer, though, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's fine. You have to repair it every now and then because of the radiation fucking with the whatever. Fine, you repair it, but you're not gonna. It's not gonna die on you.
Is this the closest thing we have to a Kong swatting down plane scene?
I guess so.
I forget if he takes any of these copters down. We'll see. This all looks pretty good, though.
I think this is the only time that I can think of, though, that Kong wasn't captured by our main characters. He gets captured by the bad guys instead. It's really one of the few
I'm
Kong
trying to
movies.
think if that's true.
It's really one of the few Kong movies that actually has bad guys, because I don't think any of the others really do. But
I don't think so. We'll see. Well, we're gonna watch them all, so we'll find out.
33, main cast captures him. Kong, he's not in it. KKVG, main cast transports him to the mainland to fight Godzilla. 76, captured by the cast.
I'm just thinking of the animated ones that I haven't seen in a long time, like Return to the Jungle. I think the villains might capture him and bring him to the modern world. I don't remember. We'll watch that one. We'll see. I remember very distinctly that this is ether that they're hitting him with, which is not something that is used medically anymore. It's now a narcotic that's illegal. You know what suit this Kong suit is closer to? I should have mentioned this earlier. It looks a lot like the Half-Human suit, which is a movie I saw very recently and I liked a lot. Another Honda movie.
That's Toho's Yeti movie, right?
Yep. Well, it's the Yeti.
I saw part of that with you.
Yes, it's well. I watched the American version. I've seen. Oh wow, there's the 62 suit again. I don't know why. There's no water. It's just smoke. Why the 62 suit again? Now they cut back to 66. This is so random. This is weird. I don't know if I like this. I kind of like this scene, but that jump is always so weird.
The proportions are definitely similar to the Half-Human suit. I can see that.
Especially the feet. The feet are the thing that are really similar. And there was an iconic shot in 1955 of the the Godzilla Raids Again Godzilla suit standing next to the Half-Human suit, and everybody was like, "Oh, King Kong versus Godzilla." It's not. But I guess it was kind of a precursor for this. So I think he took down one helicopter. Oh, wow, dude, look at Kong. He's fucking fucked.
He threw
up,
a tree.
son.
Bill,
Dude.
he threw a tree at a helicopter. Sound familiar?
Is that a monkey? Oh, Kong's knocked out. Oh, Kong's on his ass.
I'm not saying that Jordan Vogt Roberts got that idea from this movie. I'm just saying that Jordan Vogt Roberts got that idea from this movie.
Bruh, I'm so fucked up, G. Kong always ends up drugged up on his ass, doesn't he? That happens in every movie.
I knew that'd work on Kong.
I guess not Son of Kong. They don't drug him up in that.
Well,
every other one, though, they drug him up in some capacity.
Well, we captured Kong, but we used up my entire stash.
God damn it. How am I going to get fucked up later? I'll have to smoke weed. How pedestrian.
Maybe I can get a contact high off this damn gorilla.
He just fucking, like, sniffs the hair and shit. Man, his hands are terrible. They look like mangled, like, fucking shrew hands or whatever. I love his henchmen. Like, his henchmen all look like fucking international, like, fucking gangsters that got convinced to be in this King Kong movie.
Why the hell do you think I went out of my way to build a mechanical version of this giant gorilla, only to then come and capture the real version of this gorilla? Because I'm fucked up half the time. I could have just built a damn steam shovel.
Oh yeah, this dude is definitely fucked up on drugs. I mean, he's fucking building King Kong robots to mine for radioactive material because he thinks that's the only way to do it. Now he's fucking capturing King Kong and putting his poorly composited henchman in front of him. I thought his henchman was holding an umbrella over him, but it was a fucking radio with a giant antenna. Hey guys, I want to get fucked up too.
Don't take my Kong.
He's also my dealer, man. I'll fuck you up with a bullet. Oh man, he shot him 3 times. That's a lot.
These are them fancy new no blood bullets.
You know what else his outfit reminds me of? Orson Krennic from Rogue One.
Yeah, kinda. I feel like I just watched the opening scene of Rogue One again. He has a child.
Oh, Galen, I'm so sorry.
I just shot you 3 times in the chest.
Kong's gonna design a flaw in Mechanic-Kong.
Now you're high, Kong. Literally.
Technically, they're... Oh, boy, they're gonna put him low, though. He's gonna go crashing down into that pit. Somebody's filming like, oh, this is fucked up. I'm gonna put this on the 60s internet later.
They should have just put him in a giant cage like the Yeti.
That's a reference to Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century, for those of you unaware. That's another movie that Dylan and I have watched recently. Because while we've also been doing these King Kong commentaries, we've also been watching a whole bunch of bad King Kong knockoffs to be a little more educated on the genre. And we can assure you that every single King Kong movie, regardless of its quality, is a million times better than the Kong knockoffs that exist around it.
Yeah, one idea that I floated to Bill is that at some point in the future, after we get done doing the Week of Kong, we should do some Kong knockoffs. Maybe not watch them again and commentate over them, but talk about them in some capacity. Like, you know, your apes, your Yetis, your mighty Peking Mans, your Queen Kongs, all that good stuff. And by good stuff, I mean crap.
Exactly. We don't want to excite them. Oh my. So maybe don't bring the girl if you don't want to rile them up.
I think the best King Kong knockoff, well, it's not even really a knockoff, it's really more inspired by King Kong, but is fucking Mighty Joe Young.
Yep.
I know, because I just went to a rave last week.
Kong's been shooting up.
My God, look, somebody left tons of coke all over the floor.
We'll have to stage an intervention.
Fidel, it looks like we've missed the biggest rager of the century.
And save some for later, if you know what I mean. Come to Daddy. Daddy remembers his days in the ether dens back after the war. You see, Carl Nelson traveled around the Orient, selling opium and ether to black market buyers.
Oh, now he's bloody.
Ew, he's Asian and old.
Kira Takarada looks at her like, hey.
Yeah, but he's old, though. That's what I meant, baby. Oh, okay.
Were there no squibs in 1966? Because when he shot that guy, nothing. Now he's covered in blood.
I know that vibe. Squibs are hard to do. I will never fuck you. There's no chance.
Nowadays, they just throw in some terrible CG blood, but at least it would be something, you know.
Yeah. Something is better than nothing.
What did you see, old man?
The Yeti.
Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
At least they didn't do blackface for this guy.
Must have been the 90s version of Doctor Who. He's terrified. Oh, he's dead.
Well, I'm certainly sad. Aren't you, D?
Oh, wrecked.
What an emotional moment. What an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, he only had blood on him in one shot. After that, blood disappeared again.
An oriental skeleton with guttural eyes like a rat.
Well, that's potentially racist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's going to jump to the conclusion of that it's one dude very quickly. He knows it's Doctor Who based on that fucking hyperbolic-ass description. I know based on the dying words of a man I've only met once. The International Judas. That's quite the fucking title. You know, Judas was very, very specific to Jerusalem, I guess. Or wherever the hell fucking Judas lived.
Fucking the desert.
Generally, sure. Found weird-looking rocks. Please send home to mother. Tell her I am fine. Well, now I feel important that I looked at the map. Tokyo's still where it's supposed to be.
let me just point you out the capital of your own country.
So yeah, it's not. She's not Japanese. She's from an Asiatic country.
Oh, good.
What if they took him to the North Pole, though? Ha ha ha! And why couldn't you find him if they took him to the North Pole? I mean, what's the difference? If they can take him anywhere else in the world and you can find him, you should be able to also find him at the North Pole.
That was such a lame joke.
Yeah, that was really bad. This is where the movie kind of grinds to a fucking halt.
I do appreciate that we actually get to see Kong in captivity, though.
That's cool.
That was also something I appreciated in '76, and then they did it again with Lady Kong and Lives. Because usually you just cut right from them capturing him to him being on stage. Or
this is a weird-ass moment we're about to see. Why did they put Mechanic Kong in a cage? Were they afraid he was going to revolt, Terminator style? He was going to become self-aware?
Maybe.
Oh, and Kong sees Mechanic Kong as like a sexy-ass fucking other Kong. He's like, hey, man. How you doing, man?
Hey, baby.
Call me in 15 years when you're a co-ed. These chains may have me shackled, but my heart doesn't have shackles on my love, baby. Get out of here with your weird-ass pajamas. Go seduce James Bond. They asked if we're ever going to get married. I told them that you're not really the commitment type.
You told them right.
This alcohol smells like arsenic. You know me so well, sweetheart. Oh, yes.
This is a poor substitute for the ether.
I saw King Kong. I do not want to see your giant ape again. Oh, you bitch.
This is a Japanese actor. He feels like Asian Dr. Pretorius, and I love it.
Oh, he's really good. Hypnotic susceptibility. I'm good with that. I'll hypnotize you with my giant ape.
Ernest Thesiger. That was the actor's name that I was trying to think of. Why would
Carl Nelson ever think, yeah, I'll hang out with this guy. He seems like a cool dude. He strikes me as like the most obviously evil guy ever. Strikes me as a very Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker relationship, and not in a good way. Where it's like, why would you ever like this person? Michael Caine from Jaws 4 is flying in. All right, Ellen, we're going to come down and look for the shark. You know what else is interesting about this film? It's also very coincidental and lazy that everything kind of winds up getting to Japan. Like, sure, Asia is involved, and there's a Japanese crew member on the submarine, but it's all the UN. It's all global. And, we're in New York when we go back to the city, not Japan. So it's super coincidental that it happens to take place in Tokyo at the end. And right now, these guys on the plane are like, come with us, we're Japanese, King Kong is in Japan and we need your help. And Akira Takarada is going to go, these guys don't look Japanese, I don't trust them. Even though they totally are Japanese. It's a very weird scene.
Gotta love that hover
Hello
car.
there, Asian people. I am a white man. Nice to make your acquaintance. I am a cool-looking Asian man. And I don't like these slightly less cool-looking Asian men. See, the guy on the left, I can buy not buying he's Japanese. But the guy on the right, that is a Japanese-ass motherfucker.
Yeah, this other guy looks like maybe his mom is like Japanese, but he's just like chilling out in Detroit,
I think the guy on the left is from Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster as well. Ooh, look at their racism.
Hello there. I am not an Asian like you. No, I am a Caucasian.
It's just my cock is Asian. Oh, I like this. Although Kong's being a little slow on the uptake. There he goes. I think the compositing in this is a lot better than everything we've seen so far and all the movies we've watched. Oh no, don't start a rave. I can't fight the beat, man.
Not now. We already used up all the ether.
Why would you tease me with this? God damn it. Now I'm gonna go scrape it from the bottom of the canister to see if I can get anything. He gets really desperate.
These funkadelic vibes will chill King Kong right out.
Yeah, he really got taken in by the fucking beat, man. The music took him away, son.
It's like, I don't know if you ever played the Destroy All Monsters games, but in the second one, you could, like, distract a crowd by, like, using your mental powers to cause them to all spontaneously break into dance to psychedelic music.
Do you mean Destroy All Humans?
What did I say?
You said Destroy All Monsters, and I was like,
oh,
what?
My bad.
I only ever played the demo for Destroy All Humans. I always wanted to they're apparently making another one for the next gen. I'll definitely get that. Look,
I never had the first game. A friend of mine did, but the second game I fucking had, and I fucking loved that game.
Look at Kong's fucking brain dead fucking derelict stare.
Yeah, at least he's supposed to be being mind controlled in this scene, so I guess it's an acting choice.
It's an acting choice. It's convenient that they built a King Kong sized door. Like, why did Mechanic Kong have to walk all the way to the fucking crater in the last fucking part of it, but now King Kong just gets a convenient tunnel?
I don't know, maybe they hadn't built that tunnel yet at the time.
Oh, she's got a cute outfit on. She dressed very well for the occasion.
I'd fuck her.
Well, nobody's disputing that. I love the way he digs, just waving his arms out in front of him.
He looks like me looking for something in my closet. Like, get out of my way.
Just digging through piles and putting it in a shredder just to get it out of the way.
So what's the idea behind this Element X? What is it supposed to do? Do we ever find out, really?
Power, D. Power!
Unlimited!
Yes, God? Why did Dad leave, God? Why did he go out to get cigarettes and never come back?
Why did he interrupt him just to then tell him to continue?
Because Kong got distracted by the radiation and he was going to stop. See, what's not great is that you can tell the actor's arms are not up in the top of on the hands. Like, they're just kind of flopping around.
It's like when you're navigating and your GPS says, hey, keep going straight.
Like, oh, yeah. Kong's like, whoa. I'm getting some mad Chernobyl vibes from this, son. My nuts are starting to scrunch up into little fucking grapes. Little fucking raisins and shit. I ain't never having any kids again, aren't I?
Maybe there's an Element X on the bottom of Loch Ness, Bill.
Maybe that's the second radioactive layer. I can't even tell what it's supposed to look like. It just looks like a glowing block of ice.
I think it's supposed to be like crystalline in nature, you know, so it looks like a crystal, but it like glows.
I guess. Kong's falling asleep on the job. That's a bad shot.
Oh, you must drug the man up on ether and psychedelic rock music and then expect him to dig. Like, fuck.
Dig up radioactive fucking crystal and shit? Like, Jesus, man. You have some unrealistic expectations of your fucking giant gorilla you kidnapped and drugged up on ether. Oh, now you're insulting his fucking race. That's not cool, man.
That's like when your parents need you to do something when you're in the middle of getting fucked up and you're like, shit.
Yep, exactly.
That's what this entire sequence is.
Exactly. It's so wrong that Doctor Who got Kong's ears pierced without his consent. Look at how nervous that guy on the right is. He's like, oh man, we're so gonna lose our jobs. And I just got my benefits.
Hey, Kong, man.
I'll dig your grave. Hey! Yeah, Kong is not about that earring life, son.
He's like, fuck Bluetooth.
Classic Kong beating of the chest. How do you think that looks with the suit?
Okay.
What's your
a little awkward. It looks a little awkward.
What's your favorite Kong chest beating scene? Hey, that clock has like Skittles on it. There's Skittles on all the computer screens.
Oh, damn it, Kong. So close to freedom.
Just pulled out from under you like a carpet.
So this radiation seems to have more of an effect on machinery than it does on mammals.
I guess so.
Which leads me to the question, why can't they just go in there and fucking get it?
Yeah. Well, again, just why do they need... Why is Kong the perfect thing to dig out this radioactive material? I don't get it. Maybe I would give a shit about all this a little more if I did. Oh, now she's got heels on. Very nice. Don't you think at this point they'd be like, I think we've been kidnapped. I guess they have been.
You're quite correct, Carl. He did want the real Kong.
I want your Kong.
Just realized main character's name is Carl.
Yeah.
Remind you of any
hell, we've got the triad here. We've got Carl Denham, Ann Darrow, and Jack Driscoll.
Only difference is now Jack Driscoll's a Jap.
Mm-hmm.
He's Jack Driscoll.
He got Mechanic Kong to wave. An actor was paid to do that, D. How does that make you feel?
Really wish I was that actor.
Right?
Wave your arm, you get like $10,000. Okay.
I disagree. I think we're giving Kong a little too much credit here. I mean, I think he's cool, but he's still just a big monkey. Ooh.
I won't help you either.
She's got a very nice little cap. See, again, I feel like the movie has kind of grinded to a halt.
Yeah.
Kong is just sitting outside of the door, just fucking banging on it, and we're just sitting here in this fucking jail cell.
Luckily, we only have about a half hour left in this movie, so.
A little over, but yeah. Carl was not into this shit. He's like, I want this. This girl's mine. Come here, Akira Takarada. You can have some too. I'll give you some of the American Man. I'm an American man. Soup or muffin?
Nelson, you are to come.
All over my face. Will you come on my face, Akira Takarada? Of course. That's what I was born to do. I come on faces.
I learned that from Glenn what was his fucking name?
Nick Adams. You mixed
Nick.
his character's name with his real name.
I sure did. I may or may not be drinking.
Hello. Would you like to be the James Bond to my Kissy Suzuki?
Won't you sit down in my weird fucking palatial estate that exists in the middle of Doctor Who's crazy science base?
It's bigger on the inside. Just like my pussy.
This is such a James Bond moment, you know?
Well, yeah, she's a James Bond actress, so that's why they're playing that up.
Like when they're like when James and what's her name arrive at the Doctor No's base in Doctor No, and then all of a sudden they're like in this fucking like fancy ass room with the fucking dinner table and shit, and there's like beta fish and whatnot.
Tell me, Doctor No, does world domination really account for not having any hands? Tell me, Japanese lady, does not having big breasts really account for world domination?
Oh, Moneypenny. Like to that dress and get to know you.
Moneypenny. I'd like to throw my hat around your head, and then lift my kilt up and you can suck my haggis. Oh. You're leaning right on my penis. Penis. Yep, this'll go somewhere, right, D? This'll advance the plot. Oh shit, I don't have subtitles on. That'd probably be a little better.
Oh, Moneypenny. I got some for your eyes only shit to show you.
You sound more Irish. Oh, Moneypenny! I'd like to show you me four-leaf clover. Would you like a Guinness? Magically delicious. This is a very Sean Connery Bond moment. Sometimes it's alright to slap a woman with an open hand.
He's questioning her about what country he's from. Clearly, he can't tell them apart. Yep. Which I can't either. Let's be fair.
I know she's Japanese because I know that actress. I mean, she was in You Only Live Twice, and she was Japanese in that, and she's a Japanese actress. She's a Toho regular.
But I mean, in real life,
I guess you could say that Nelson is a little cold. He also sort of reminds me of Dark Helmet from Spaceballs.
I know how to make him do anything we want, but we're out of ether. Oh, that's right. Damn.
His Schwartz is as big as mine. There's a lot of laughing. What is Kong doing? Is he just sitting outside the door just like, well, I guess this is my fate?
I hate when I get my Schwartz twisted.
Especially since last time we ended up throwing the pieces at each other and trying to shove them down each other's throats. That's what made it more fun. Look at the paunch on Doctor Who. He's got such a bad paunch. That's what I do, Carl Nelson. I interfere in people's happiness. Oh no, man. He's sending a bad strain into the fucking air. This is rank.
We gotta get out of here, man. We gotta get out of here. I just want to go home and watch porn, man. Let me out of here.
That was such a bad punch. That was a little better.
This guy went to the Bill Shatner School of Fighting.
Did you see Doctor Who? He was like, eh! Yeah, this is very Star Trek. Dun 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 dun. Let me feel for your weapons. Ooh, I found quite a large one in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Do you know about rats, Mr. Bond?
Take my fucking light shirt that will definitely not fit around that other one you've got on. Jiro. It's a terrible name. Oh no, I'm so uncomfortable with human contact.
the subtitles on this DVD are for the hearing impaired, which is even better because not only do I get dialogue, but I also get shit like wind whistling.
Yep. It's 2:42. Somebody save me!
Well, Doctor Who, you certainly know how to give someone the cold shoulder.
I mean, he is kind of a dickhead for just sitting there playing chess when he knows that they're dying, right? I mean, that's a dick move.
You're not sending me to the cooler.
My nuts may have frozen off several minutes ago, but I can still stand up to you, Doctor Who. Oh no, the last Asian guy that he pointed that gun at did not end well, so...
I'm here to make your life a living hell.
Okay, if they do anything to not go with that deal, they're idiots.
I will let you out of this freezer if you make passionate love right now and let me watch.
And film it. And let Kong watch, too. He hasn't seen anything like that in a long time.
I put it up on YouTube, Pornhub, Xvideos, and WorldStar. Why WorldStar? Because I like to fool with people.
It's also the 1960s, so I just, all the 60s equivalents of that.
I just made all of that shit up, but one day, you'll see. I'm ahead of my time. Also, I might be a Time Lord, which makes this whole thing make a lot more sense.
I don't really know what he wants from them.
What if this was the Doctor? Like, what if a future version of the Doctor regenerated into an Asian?
He's a fucking idiot then. He can't get a fucking rock out of a fucking ice cap?
And became a supervillain.
Is he also fucking brain dead?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, there's the 62 suit again.
Well, every Doctor has their own thing. His thing would be incompetence.
And being Japanese. Be seen as a little racist. Kong! Well, thank God they left me free. Incompetence is is the general theme of this film, I suppose.
Thank God they just left the fucking door open.
Alright, the Yashiro Honda's movies, they're usually about something. What's this movie about?
Escaping.
You're right. Escaping from the shackles of capitalism, because Doctor Who was offering them cash, but they kept their ideals. It's a very optimistic movie. This is almost like Toho's version of a Superman movie, I feel.
This movie is communist propaganda.
Well, Shiro Honda did believe in socialism. He was a democratic socialist. Oh, wow. Kong just burst out of a mountain. That's pretty impressive.
You don't like capitalism? You can get out.
I mean, he didn't live in America, so, he technically did.
Good. He can get out. What?
Yeah, this will go well, given the fact that the thing can move at like fucking Mach 2.
How big do you suppose Mechanic Kong would be if you put it up against like a Jaeger? Like how do they scale up against each other?
It's like 50 feet, so it would be like less than half.
Yeah, that's right. The robot that I forgot. Kong and Nid are pretty short in this movie, comparatively speaking.
God damn it! I'm trying to find ether. I think he used all his ether. Again, incompetence is the general theme of this movie. She's changed outfits again.
Come, the base is being pink kimono.
King Kong, it's time to escape. This is the money scene. This is what everybody paid to see. Woo!
Go free, Willie.
Oh God, it's so cold. My King Kong nuts are no good. Oh man, I can't go in the water. I don't know how to swim. I didn't bring my trunks. Doctor Who, can I have some floaties, please?
Come back here, buddy. I'm not your buddy, friend. I'm not your friend, guy.
Man, if you were over here, I'd so get you.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
Music playing on stereo. Why doesn't... She's changed outfits again.
God, she's like fucking Lady Gaga.
This whole movie is the Super Bowl halftime show. Where was the other monkey going?
To be fair, this is the way to get me to watch a Super Bowl halftime show. Put a big monkey in it.
What an unnecessary insult. Like, he's a better swimmer than you, probably. He's like, ooh, I'm going to get you for that.
They're right. I'm a terrible swimmer. Damn it.
They got me right where it really hurts.
If only I could remember where I put my TARDIS.
Everybody's just taking shots at Dr. Hill like, you're a failure. You'll all say, I'm really great. Meh. We know
Doctor's like, oh yeah.
Dylan, we know his type.
We do, don't we?
We do.
Ugh, I would not want to go to G-Fest with Doctor Who.
No. Sitting in the back seat, starting shit when we're listening to podcasts and shit.
Getting angry when we listen to Tarzan Boy.
Who gets angry about Tarzan Boy? What natural human being does that?
Ooh. Ooh. This is how we know that this is a boring movie, because now we're talking about Tarzan Boy.
Yeah. Kong apparently
like
swam near Tokyo, so now this is King Kong Escapes again.
I feel
Again,
like this commentary...
Kong conveniently went to Japan. There was no reason for him to go to Japan. He was in the North Pole.
Yeah, really. Anyway, I feel like this commentary has been kind of all over the place just because this is a hard movie to focus your attention on.
We also took a pretty sizable break because we had some technical difficulties, so I don't know if that was reflected, but hopefully you're still pretty in sync with us. We're on a boat
Future Bill
right now.
Future Bill tried to edit around it as best he could. We'll see how it came out.
Oh boy.
So your country, where is it again?
Asiatic is very vague, you see. Oh, now we're watching War of the Gargantuas. How fun.
Kerblakistan?
The Giant Kong.
Okay, if he's only 50 foot tall in this movie, there are some scaling issues.
Unless he's on a hill or something.
Even if he is on a hill, that would account for why he was so high up in the air, and on the shot, but still, like, size, he looks too big, you know?
Well, now it's night at least. Would this make you want to watch the cartoon? If you saw this movie, would you like, oh, I want to see the cartoon now. I gotta know how similar it is.
No. Not remotely. I also don't really mention the fact that this is, well, I mean, you couldn't really mention it, but I mean, there's no way watching this movie that I would have even gotten the impression that it was based off a cartoon, so.
That was a pretty cool shot where Mechanicong was coming up. Oh, they still have them captive, I forgot. And another outfit change.
I'm here to save you, which is why I've changed into this festive turtleneck.
And why I've put on this flowery headband. Wow, don't demean yourself like that. There's a lot of putting down going on in this movie. Like, I'm shit, you're shit, we're all shit. You know what? Have some fucking self-confidence, people. Fuck.
Did something go down between you and Doctor Who? Very awkward sex. Now I'm getting out of here. The man can't do a thing without ether.
Yeah, we've already established that they've been out of ether for a while now.
It's been the running plot line of this movie. Of our version of this movie. I feel like our version of this movie is a lot
Everybody
more
is just desperately trying to get ether.
King Kong Escapes 2. The search for more ether.
King Kong escapes to find more ether.
King Kong escapes from rehab to go get more ether.
That's why Kong is so fucked up and druggy in this movie, and why he goes to Japan. He's like, "Where is the ether?" He's like fucking breaking through houses and shit. He's like, "Where is it?" He's like
I know
snorting.
you must have. I know you got some ether, Japan.
He was like running through the snow, snorting the snow, trying to get a high because he thought it was ether. He was so wrong.
Japan's like, "No, man, we're more into weed. Damn it, I need some ether."
No, Japan is not in any drugs, man. If anything, opium is where you could get the Asiatic countries, as they call them.
Now, the way you kill Kong is you give him a bunch of
The
way you kill Kong is you give him a bunch of crocodile and convince him that it's ether.
Wow, these guys are great. I need to do my job.
Crazy bitch! I'm not gonna get my paycheck if I don't shoot these pieces of shit.
They should be so dead.
Those
Why did they go one at a time? Why did he move? He's like, I gotta hold the light.
The silencers on those guns don't seem to be silencing much.
No. I like that classic Toho gunfire effect, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
D, there's only 18 minutes left.
Remote control tanks. Mm-hmm.
Good thing they evacuated the city and there's nobody there for Kong the Menace. That's gonna be
ether. Give me ether.
This is like the Godzilla 2014 of King Kong, where it's like he's just a hero throughout the whole thing. Like he's constantly cast in a positive light. What?
I'm gonna save up from this giant monkey.
That is a dumb shirt you're wearing. You look
Once
like a lumberjack.
Once we realized that was a giant monkey coming ashore and not the President of the United States, we had to take action.
Well, good thing they listened to the guy in the fucking polo shirt. They all changed outfits now. They're all taken after Kissy Suzuki.
Yeah, now Linda Miller's wearing this weird, like, 60s type thing. Oh no, they found King Kong's weakness. Flash photography.
Man, this is just... It doesn't hold your attention very well, does it?
No.
Oh, see, there we go. He knocked into some wires, and he didn't really seem to enjoy it, so we know he's not electrically powered in this one. Not canon with King Kong versus Godzilla. Now he's pissed, though. It all looks good, though. That composite's not bad, either. There are definitely some scaling issues, though. You're right.
Yeah, like, sometimes he looks 100 feet, sometimes he looks 50. Kong! No, Kong!
They're definitely trying to make him look big compared to the buildings, obviously.
Pick me up, Kong!
Yeah, good. When the military's all got guns pointed at him, go right up there. Well, I guess that's her point. She's like, yeah, I'll be a tar. I'll be a bodyguard, a bullet shield.
Look, it's Kong's favorite doll.
Yep. Kong needs to really file his fingernails.
Hey, look at that.
Good thing Mechanic-Kong destroyed the first building. We can all blame it on him now. Let's all listen to this Japanese guy in a button-up shirt. He must know what he's talking about.
Sir, you're not going to leave this. There's another giant monkey, and it's a robot. How did it get this far into the city without anybody noticing it?
Very, very quiet. It's like a ninja, man. It was designed for silent mining. You know, that you could mine under everybody's noses, literally and figuratively.
It was watching this whole time, and once it realized that they weren't going to kill Kong, it was
See,
like,
look
now
at how drugged up Kong looks. He looks like he's just so desperate for fucking ether. He's like, oh, I can't even function, man. I don't know what to do.
This guy have ether? Ether.
He needs help, man. It's really sad. He's self-destructing. Oh.
Badass mechanic.
It's on! Monster fight! Monster fight! Monster fight! Monster fight! Wow.
Like how mechanic just walks through the power lines. Like,
So, Mechanic Kong's big move against Kong is fucking parlor tricks, distracting him.
More psychedelic
Yeah,
disco.
see, again, I'm telling you, man, look, Kong's really fucked up. He needs help.
Maybe this movie actually has an anti-drug message. Look what ether did to Kong.
His brain just doesn't even function anymore. Yeah, good. Shoot the robot.
If only Udaku had watched
it
this
did
movie.
something. It actually worked. Yeah, what they put in Mechagodzilla's eyes all those years later was definitely a lot more effective. You can definitely see the early shades of Mechagodzilla in Mechanic Kong, though.
I guess Doctor Who didn't have death laser technology.
I guess not. I guess that wasn't invented at this point.
It's so weird. I always looked at Mechagodzilla. I was like, oh, that's such a Japanese idea. Nope, Rankin Bass.
Yeah, I mean, the cartoon was Japanese, though, so it was.
Get the girl.
Oh, right.
No, Mechanic Kong.
They all find out the fucking robot is powered by ether. When they have it down, they're going to rip into the core and get it out.
Yeah, Kong kills it by just ripping open its gas tank and drinking all the ether out of it.
Yep. Well, here's another Tokyo Tower scene in a monster movie. It's a rare treat.
This has literally just become Donkey Kong.
But with another monkey.
Yeah.
And
Instead
a
of an
robot
attack.
monkey. Well, things have picked up a little bit.
Can you imagine a proper monster movie version of Donkey Kong?
No, I can't at all, actually.
I can, a little bit. Maybe it's just the booze.
Potentially.
I will drop this doll.
What, man? You gotta say that a little louder, man.
Can't really hear that good right now, bruh.
I'm negotiating
That
with a
be
giant ape.
ether?
I'm a genius. I'm a genius man. Oh no! Oh my God! She didn't change outfits.
It's a miracle.
Look at all the dumb fucking hexagonal shapes in the wall. Oh wow! She pulled his trick on him. We're all gonna die one day, man. I mean, let's be real.
This is for not pulling out when you said you would.
Oh boy.
Oh shit, now he's got moves.
Dun dun dun. They're doing a waltz. Karate chop. He just did a nice judo chop.
Bill, I think I'm ahead of you again.
Oh shit. I'm at one.
I saw that dude.
I'm at 125, 41, 42, 43, 44.
I'm at 49, 50, 51.
Pause. Where are you at?
All right, I paused at 55.
I'll let you know when I'm there, okay?
Okay. Are you going to pause when you get there, or you just want me to hit?
I'm paused there.
Okay, you're
All right.
paused at 55 now?
Yep. Are you seeing two guys?
Yep.
All right, press play in 3, 2, 1, play. CD, this movie is too much them trying to make a James Bond movie and not enough King Kong. Would you agree?
Yeah, You can definitely see that happening here. Well, we all know that the Japanese were big fans of James Bond. And this isn't the only kaiju movie that sort of crept into. Now, was that some sort of animation being used in that shot of him climbing up the Tokyo Tower from afar?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it.
It looked pretty fast. Anyway, the Japanese are big fans of James Bond, so it worked its way into a lot of their films, and not just this movie. Biollante has a lot of sort of Bondy things going on in it.
More so the two Mechagodzilla movies in the 70s.
Yeah. Problem is, those movies knew how to balance all that shit.
Sometimes. This movie, not at all.
I do like this final sequence though of them on the Tokyo Tower and fighting and shit. It's pretty good.
Again, it's a good kind of mirror to 33. We've been okay at that this whole movie. But again, does it not just feel like we're kind of going through the motions? Like, oh, he's got to climb a big building because that's what we always do. I mean, Honda did all this in King Kong vs. Godzilla already. I don't know why he just didn't do other stuff here.
He was probably given a very specific script and told to film it, I guess.
Yep.
Like I said, I really feel like he poured all his creative passion that year into War of the Gargantuas, and maybe there just wasn't enough left over for this movie.
Again, I also just don't think he was right for a King Kong movie.
Which one would you like, sir? Jew Ranger or...
Oh, that didn't look good.
No, it didn't. There was like an up the skirt shot earlier of McKinney Kong climbing the tower that didn't look good either.
It was almost like a reverse shot. This is exactly like the ending of 33 with Jack climbing the building.
Yeah. All the versions.
See, I feel like we never really get a good sense of the fight. They're cutting around it too much.
Yeah, I guess because they're climbing and fighting at the same time, there's not a whole lot of like good fight choreography they could do. So it was just sort of like, cut back to him kicking him every once in a while.
What is Doctor Who trying to accomplish at this point?
I don't know. At this point, I think he's just pissed.
Yeah, I guess he's just trying to get revenge on Kong now. He's just trying to prove that his robot is better. So far, not really so good.
See, I wish the whole plot of the movie was like him building Mechanic-Kong and trying to prove that it was better than the regular Kong. Like,
yeah,
that would be
have been a lot more
plot.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, much better plot than the whole mining thing. I mean, the title wouldn't have made sense, King Kong Escapes, but I mean, they could have come up with something else. Heck, they could have just called it King Kong versus Mechanic-Kong or something.
That would have been a lot better. Yeah, King Kong Escapes really only describes like one very small element of the film. It's bizarre.
Yeah. First time I watched it, I didn't even afterwards I was like, did he even escape from anything in this movie? And then I had to think about it for a minute. And I was like, oh yeah, he did.
Very briefly. Towards in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
At least it's slightly more accurate than the title To Destroy All Monsters.
Very true.
In which one monster was destroyed.
It's not as accurate as the title Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, though. So in terms of movies that year, this one lost. He's like, like he was gonna jump in, but he was like, nah.
You know what else is kind of an inaccurate title?
Kong's just humping the building now. See,
not really much of a war going on in that movie. Just two guys duking it out, really.
See, this isn't even much of a fight. Like they're just kind of like bumping into each other, and Kong's just humping the building. I'm not very impressed.
Too bad this building doesn't have any like.
Cool. Oh, that was really cool.
Yeah, okay, that's a good moment. Too bad there isn't anything on this building that they could like swing on.
Ooh, that's also really good.
Oh, you know what would have been better? Have them fight on like a suspension bridge so that they could like swing and shit.
See, it got a little better towards the end. Yeah, this is all pretty good.
You know that they're not cutting away from it every 5 seconds. And this is actually a situation.
Now that they're taking out parts of the tower, and there's a more of a direct correlation between the fight and the people. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid, and there's a lot more direct, one-on-one choreography between the two monsters now.
Yep.
I love the kicking and grabbing going on right now.
Finally, an instance where Mechanic Kong's flashlight eyes are useful for this fight. I guess they made sense as a mining thing to have, but
Oh, does Mechanicon go flying blind for a little bit? Oh, she's done. She didn't even get to change her outfit one last time. How sad.
God, I love shooting people.
Oh, that didn't look good. Well, there he goes. First Kong we've ever seen hit the ground. Ooh, and shatter into a million pieces. That was awesome.
Because he's a robot, and you can get away with that shit.
Yep, that's the first one. This is also another movie where King Kong doesn't die at the end. Another rare one.
Yeah, the Japanese are much more forgiving to Kong than we are.
Yep.
Even his son, man, we drowned that nigga.
We did, right? What the fuck? Why is he like hanging half off?
Why is one of his legs just dangling in the air?
Yeah, what the fuck? Are these guys idiots?
Were they purposely going after Kong?
They weren't going. They were just sitting there waiting for Kong to be brought to them. Like, who was going to bring them, you fucking idiot? Why did they wait so long? This is fucking stupid. Again, lazy writing.
Yeah, they stayed there all night? Jesus.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
What was
They
Doctor
got a
Who
full
doing?
night's sleep, and now they're going to go fuck them up.
Like, what was Doctor Who doing during all this time?
See, this is so last minute. Like, the movie has 3 minutes left.
We should have had Madam X succeed in, like, blowing up the ship in some way. And that way, King Kong defeating Mechanic Kong would have been the end of the movie. Or at least the dramatic end of the movie.
Yeah, this is unnecessary. I don't even think you need to kill Doctor Who and everybody. Just have them get arrested. Like they just ordered Kong to commit mass murder. Like, that's on them.
They're going all Jeff Bridges on this.
And they're not really terrorists. They're just Asian dudes in orange helmets. Like, what did they do? Why do they have to die? This always kind of freaked me out as a kid, though. Like, just imagine a giant gorilla just being sent directly after you. Like, he fucks this boat up, too. Oh my god, that's pretty cool.
I know I should have signed up for the red bamboo.
I like that he, like, climbs on top of the ship and, like, rips it apart. I wish it wasn't the 62 suit. That doesn't look so good. But it's, again, it's monster action. And you know what, D? I don't think this movie has enough monster action in retrospect.
No. Do you think this is a scaling issue, too, this scene? Is that really, like, 50 feet? Like, is that... Because didn't they fit him inside?
It's a big boat. He was inside this boat earlier.
Yeah. But now he looks like about the same size.
No, I'd say he's like half.
Still, it doesn't look like it would fit in the cargo hold.
I disagree.
Like, I guess if the cargo
that's a great death.
I guess if the cargo hold takes up like 60% of the ship, maybe.
Yay, Kong killed them all. What a wonderful accomplishment for everybody involved.
Now we won't have to send in SEAL Team 6.
And now we have the same ending as KKVG. He just swims off home.
Oh, look, it's the ending of every 70s Godzilla movie.
Yep, I mean, that's how every monster movie ends, man, where the monster doesn't die. They just swim off.
Like, Godzilla might as well be a cowboy.
Even monsters that don't live in the water, like Kong. Like, Kong doesn't live in the water. He lives on an island. He's got to swim off home, though.
Like, Godzilla might as well be a cowboy in the 70s, because at the end of every movie, he's like, well, ma'am, I gotta hit the old dusty trail. And then he, like, hops on his horse and rides into the sunset.
So, yeah, that was King Kong Escapes, D. That's it. That's it for the Toho era of King Kong. What'd you think?
What a wild ride.
I disagree. I think it was actually pretty boring.
Both of these Toho Kong movies are incredibly weird.
I think King Kong versus Godzilla is more interesting. I think it's got more going on. They're both a little drier than the American Kong movies, though.
Yeah.
They're both a little more clinical. I think it makes more sense in KKVG. This just feels a little too by the numbers. It's very safe, but it's a kid's movie. I think this is one that maybe you show to a younger crowd and they'll enjoy it a little more.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
But yeah, this is not gonna enthrall an older audience. So
it's a movie about a giant monkey fighting a giant robot monkey. It shouldn't be dull, but
it is definitely dull.
But there you have it.
And you said earlier there was plenty of monster action. I disagree.
Well, in comparison to like Son of Kong, I was comparing it to Son of Kong.
Sure, directly to that, but in general, I mean, it's a lot of people talking in rooms and just fucking around and going to different locations. I was very disappointed with it in that regard. I always thought it was better paced when I was a kid, but not at all. It drags so much. The whole movie drags. So,
and Doctor Who, what a fuck up.
I would say that this is actually worse than Ghostbusters 2.
Did he do one thing right in this entire movie?
Doctor Who?
Yeah.
He kidnapped Kong and Carl Nelson, and he did mind control Kong.
Briefly, okay.
So there's that. But but my rating for this worse than Ghostbusters 2. What are your final thoughts?
So far, these Kong movies seem to have an alternation. It goes, good, bad, good, bad.
Yep. I would have to agree. So we are leaving behind the Toho era of Kong with this week, with this episode, and we are moving on to the next era of American Kong movies. In the next decade, America took another big budget crack at bringing King Kong to the big screen with the Paramount Films, Dino De Laurentiis, John Guillermin, King Kong film from 1976. We'll see you then for day 4 of the Week of Kong. We hope you'll continue to join us. Until then, I'm Bill Worster, a.k.a. Zazubaar.
And I'm Super DM64.
And we'll be millionaires, boys. We'll share it with all of you. And no Kong.